when the fishing is slow on Favorite Lake, make it a multi-species jamboree. Good morning, everybody. Mike from FisherMN here. Grand Rapids, day 2. Yesterday, I was able to check into a really nice Airbnb. But let me show you around this Airbnb in Grand Rapids. I'm trying a different one this week, and it's got a nice big kitchen. It's got a living room and a nice TV. Most of all, air conditioning, because even though it was cold this morning, it's gonna get warm. Gigantic bed. Big old closet. Great accommodations for this week. Looking to catch a lot of fish, but be comfortable while I'm doing it. I'm gonna be living in style this week. And today, I'm gonna be living in style because I'm gonna make my first trip over to Favorite Lake. Yes, we've made it. It was a long winter, and this is our first trip to a favorite place. The pads aren't quite all the way up yet, although not bad. What Favorite Lake usually does is it greets us with a frog bass. I've got a sweatshirt on in the 50s this morning. There's our welcome to Favorite Lake bass. Feels like a good one. All right, Favorite Lake chunker. This guy says, welcome back. All right, what you'll notice about the fish on this lake is they're just thick and round. I've caught 19 inches that were 5 pounds on this lake. That fish felt so much warmer than the air. There we go. Better one. Slinger inner. We'll call it a lifter inner. All right. Working our way up. Got some chunkers. Nice fish. All right. If we get something that looks out of the ordinary, we'll measure and weigh. But today, let's just get some fish in the boat. All right. We had our 2 greeter fish meet us here at Favorite Lake. A big fish. That was a really big fish. All right. Let's get it over there. Gonna have to zoom in on that guy. Here it is. I bought this bait specifically for this lake. It's a Chatterbait Evo electric shad color. And of course, off the back, I've got an electric shad power stinger in the 4-inch size. Let's see if we can get some fish in the boat. That's a tough first stretch. Man, got 2 fish right off the bat. And then nothing except, oh my goodness, a monster just rolled over our frog. We didn't quite get it. So, we'll come back to this shore, but when the fishing is slow on Favorite Lake, there's always another place to go. We're going to head over to the other shore. There's a gentle breeze coming right into Frenzy Island. Another spot if you haven't watched the channel. Let's go check out Frenzy Island. See you when we get there. All right, everybody, lots happened since I last turned on the camera. My drive was clicking, so I figured out what it was, and I tried to fix it in the middle of the lake, and I lost a part. So I had to paddle all the way back to my vehicle and get second drive. But that's why we have two. So just happy to be back on the water. We have made it to Frenzy Island. One of those days, I got to the landing and one of my steering handles had fallen off. Luckily, it was still in the kayak. I've lost one of my magnetic holders, but guess what? We're fishing. I got a backup drive, and now we're at Frenzy Island. If you haven't watched the channel, Frenzy Island is an area that's usually stacked with bass, especially this time of the year. We'll see on this cold front day. Caught two fish right away. Nothing since. One monster in the weeds hit. If they aren't here, they're usually out here. And with this wind, it's a good setup. So you know what? Let's just get some fish in the boat. Sometimes they're on the side of Frenzy Island. Sometimes they're out in front of it. Sometimes on the back side. Let's get them. All right. We'll go back through there with the jig. They might be in a little bit, so we can flip that jig right into the reeds. There we go. There's a Frenzy Island bass. They might just be in there a little bit more. Chunker, future 20-incher. All right, let's see if we can catch some Frenzy Island vacationing bass. Usually they set up just right out here. Kind of go until where the weeds drop off. Let's see. Some long casts. See if we can find some. There's a fish. It's a bass, it's a big one. Hasn't come up yet though, so I'm guessing northern? Northern. There we go. Chunky northern T-bone that bait. All right, favorite lake. Getting on the board with some fish. All right, let's see if we got some bass working out here too. That's a long cast, so kind of fun to fight that fish all the way in. All right, here we go. Got about 5 feet here. Kind of gradually drops off out there. 9 feet. Got some weeds up to about 5 feet. Fish on. There we go. Well, as per usual, we got our... Jeez. I just can't believe how often this works. Look at this nice walleye. Look at that. Wow. Slobber knocker walleye. Fish about a 20-incher probably. There we go. I'm gonna have to do a video about catching walleye on chatterbait. It's just amazing. There we go. Whew. That one thumped it. Man. Looked like a northern. I thought I got a great hook set on it. All right, on a slow day, finding some fish, guess you could say offshore. There's a fish. A bass. On camera. Last one, the camera was on the bottom of the boat. Alright. There we go, back on the board. Alright, off to a new part of the lake. Heading across. We'll have some calmer shores over there. Let's go get them. There we go. Whew. That's a nice sunfish. You're just beautiful in this lake. Nice and orange. All right, crappie. We are let's see, we got a northern, a bass, sunfish, crappie, walleye. All right. When the fishing is slow on favorite lake, make it a multi-species jamboree. There we go. Crappie? Crappie. Fish off. Another crappie. What we got? There we go. That is a giant crappie that I shouldn't have slung in. Wow. There we go. All right. We are getting there. See if we can get one like we lost. That one's 10. Nice. All right, a great stop. Some nice crappies in the boat. Good to know they're there. I'm planning on bringing back some fish this trip. So next trip out, I'll have to definitely have my cooler with me. All right, time to switch up. We got a nice lily pad field here. See if we can get some bass in the boat. All right, out to the abyss. Oh, darn it. Dun-dun. Oh, that bass wanted it. Wow. That was pretty cool. I missed him. I'm like, darn it. And then he came back. Got to watch him hit it. There we go. Chunker. All right. There just don't seem to be in the reeds. It's always tough when you kind of have a plan in your head of catching fish and maybe it doesn't go as planned. You know what? Sometimes the lake just kind of lets you know what you need to do. Because in my brain, these next lily pad fields that we see are going to be good. And they've always been good, even in the middle of the day. But if we're getting bites off of the weeds, that's where we got to go. So we're going to be casting out here, casting in there, casting in front of us. There we go. We established a pattern. Keep casting. Alright, One of the ones we've been waiting for. Oh, come on. Still got him? Still got him. Let's net him. Just in case. All right. That guy was just where he was supposed to be. All right. Looked like about a 6-pounder when he hit, because we haven't had many frog bites. A bit of midday buzzbait action. There we go. What do we got? Hey, we got a bass. Favorite lake. Midday buzz bait. There we go. All right. Thank you, Mr. Northern. All right, let's run and gun, finish up our day here on Favorite Lake. Nice day of fishing. I'd say it's one of my most rewarding days on Favorite Lake because the fish aren't jumping in the boat. You know, I know some of the videos that shows makes it seem like every cast you're getting one, and some days are like that on this lake, but this definitely wasn't one of them. Had to use every technique that I had. Got a few frogfish, some chatterbait fish, some buzzbait fish, some jig fish, and some panfish. So, loving it. Got a nice walleye on a chatterbait. Biggest bass? I don't know if it was even more than a couple of pounds. They're just not where they usually are today. Tried some new areas, but left some parts of the lake to explore too. I appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.